All right, welcome to day two of our reading challenge. Not reading, I'm sorry, Reddit challenge. Today we're going to be talking about online learning and AI in education. We're going to be covering two questions if we have time. All right, let's start. Reddit. And the question is, and the question is, yep, is online education effective? Let's search. Here we have a lot of comments. Let's go with this one. Critical debate. So online classes are better than classroom learning. But classroom learning is the one that we have at regular schools. Like we sit in the class and we learn together with the teacher. So socialization is necessary as a person who was homeschooled. Who was homeschooled means who had received home education, like their parents or their siblings or their relatives taught them. That means homeschooled. For example, if I say I was homeschooled, I'm literally saying that I received home education, where my parents or my siblings or my relatives taught me. And I'm against this. Socialization is necessary, like being social, talking to people is necessary. Um, what is happening here? Oh, not a lot of comments here, fortunately. Let's read this one. Dear students, teachers, mentors, coaches, why does online education suck so much? Why is it so bad? Hey teachers and fellow students. Fellow students, like that's a good one. Like you use it to be friendly to somebody, all right? To say guys, hey yo guys, you can say. Is it only me or I feel like online education sucks? The teachers just gave us random pre-made modules. Per-made means like before made, yeah? Per-made modules and expect us to just learn and study from them. Then we're all brought together to test. Why I think online education sucks. Online education is usually poorly structured. Poorly structured. You might want to use this one by saying yesterday's class was poorly structured, so I learned nothing. And badly structured, you might want to say. Let me copy and paste these comments so we're gonna learn better. Yep, here we go. All right. Poorly structured. I told you about this one. Yesterday's class was poorly structured. We can say, yeah. We aren't applying the information enough. Applied information. Apply the information. That means learned information. Not learning like specifically, it means to put information into practice. Yes. Apply information. Meaning to use knowledge. Yep. To put things into practice. To use knowledge. Put things into practice. Into practice. All right. Or applying the information incorrectly. We aren't doing the right and necessary actions to learn and achieve. Mentors, coach, teachers don't know what we students do on a day-to-day basis, yeah? On a day-to-day basis, on a day-to-day basis. Therefore, they don't know where exactly students need help. Yeah, they don't know where students exactly need help. That's a good one. I know this subreddit called teachers, but really, I'm talking to online education as a whole. As a whole means in general, yes? Teachers, mentors, Gurus like groups of people, most probably. Let's double check it. Yep. A spiritual teacher, trusted guide, or an expert in a specific field. Guru. All right. And though any master teacher is sometimes referred as a guru, nowadays the word guru is used in English very loosely, like is very broadly, yeah? Traditionally, guru refers to a religious or a spiritual teacher who not only has deep knowledge that can lead to moksha, liberation, but also has direct experience of divine vision or something. Yeah, like informal, a person skilled in something who gives advice. All right. Where was that? Yep, here we go. All right, cool. And now let's read the comments. Let's see what people shared. I was an online teacher for 4 years or so. That's a good one as well. Like for 4 years or so. That means for approximately for 4 years, yeah? Or so. That means approximately. I can say I saw 20 students or so. Yeah, I saw around 20 students. My students didn't really put time and or energy into their assignments, put time and energy into their assignments. So neither did I. Neither, you see, neither did I. My brother didn't tell me what time the meeting was, so neither my parents or neither did my parents. Yeah, we can say neither did somebody. And yeah, put time and energy into something. Put time and energy into something. I'm changing the or part to the end part because it sounds more natural and we can use it in different contexts. Into something. Like to give your all, to spend a lot of time and energy on doing something. I can say we all have to put a lot of time and energy into this project. Otherwise, everything will go south. Everything will go south means everything will have a bad ending. Everything will be ruined, you can say. All right. Reason is that online classes require to the student to be self-motivated, self-directed, and self-advocating. Well, let's take this one. There seems to be a lot of useful chunks of language here. All right. Let me quickly change them. All right, yes. You can do it this way even. The language we learned, yeah. Okay. And the reason is that, yeah, the reason is that online classes required to the students to be self-motivated, self-directed. Yeah, they know where they're going. That means self-directed, yeah. Let's double check it as well. Self-directed means guiding or in organizing your own actions of work learning instead of waiting for instruction from others. That's a good one. I like it. Students who are self-directed usually achieve success faster than others. Or self-directed students, we can say. All right. And self-advocating. Supporting yourself, self-advocating. The act of speaking up for your own rights, needs, and interests. Yeah, you are gonna ask what you need. Yeah. For example, if you need something, if you need individual feedback, you're gonna go straight to your teacher and ask that you need it. So that's being self-advocating. Nearly all the responsibility is on the students. Okay, all the responsibility is on somebody. Since there isn't a teacher present to redirect them towards learning, to redirect them, let's imagine students are spending a lot of time on social media, and teachers now need to redirect them to the learning path, towards the learning or away from distraction. All right, redirect them towards something. During COVID, online teaching was module based, but I created the content for the module. Build check-ins and progress points while being available for questions on Zoom during the scheduled class block. Scheduled class block, what does it mean? Let's check it out. And extended times are usually 70 to 120 minutes, where students focus on fewer subjects each day instead of many short 40-minute periods. All right, block schedule. It means you spent more time on specific subjects instead of spending little time on several subjects. You spend more time on one subject, yeah. Easily half the class wouldn't show to the Zoom or attempt anything unless it was a test, if it was not a test. And even then I received one-word answers that would allow them to click through. Click through. The act of clicking, yeah, just clicking through, right? You just click through and then leave. Yes, the act of clicking on an advertisement or at the link, you're just gonna click and then you move. So the students would just give one-word answers that would allow them to click through, yeah? Click through. Oh, all right, I actually have them here. Those that thrive it had the traits above. Like those who developed, those who got a lot of benefits, had the traits above. That means they had different sets of skills. They were self-motivated, they were self-directed, and they were self-advocating, or had a parent or other presence, had a parent presence, you see? Had a parent presence at home, like your parents were observing you. Have a parent's presence. Have your, let's say, your father or mother watch you. For example, you might want to say, I had a parent presence when I was in the when I was in the final year at school. So I graduated. So I graduated with high, with above than average results, above than average results. All right, cool. That was monitoring them or helping redirect, yeah, helping them to focus on their goals again. So the problem with online learning appears to be is that a lot of students are not self-directed and they're not self-advocating. They don't know what to do and they easily get distracted. And that is not going to let them have a effective learning experience. But those who thrive in online learning are usually self-directed and self-advocating, and they know what to do, when to do, and how to do. And when you know exactly not this one, the problem you're highlighting are not exclusive, are not limited to certain people. You can literally replace online instruction with ineffective instruction and create the same list. What a crazy what? Referencing, yeah. Look at this one. You can literally replace online learning instruction with ineffective instruction and create the same list. Online tools are just tools. Creating meaningful learning experience is something entirely different. Create meaningful learning experiences is something entirely different. I like this one as well. All right, can even replace it with supposed effective instruction. Supposed effective instruction, like it's expected, yeah. If the students don't put effort in the best song and dance. Put effort in the best song and dance? I'm not really sure about this one because I have never heard of it or seen it. Let's see. Put effort into the best song, and it means to make a big show, tell a long story, create a fuss to try and trick someone or avoid doing something. All right. The students don't put effort in the best song and dance. Let's let's use AI. We gotta use AI. Put effort in the song. Put the best. Put the effort. Put effort in the best meaning. Is being used figuratively, not literally. If the students don't put, all right, means even the most effective, engaging, well-designed teaching methods won't work if students themselves won't make an effort. All right. Like the word the best song and dance refers to the phrase, yeah, that refers to the teacher's best possible performance or teaching approach. All right. All right. Very interesting. Yeah, the most effective instruction imaginable. He gave me a whole song and dance about why he was late. All right. Let's use in this context because it's more what common we can say. Yeah, he gave me a whole song and dance about why he was late. He gave a long, elaborate explanation, often with excuses. All right, extending it to mean the teacher's best performance, the most engaging. Even the most effective teaching method cannot compensate for a lack of student effort. So that means even if teachers do every great thing possible, if students do not engage in lessons, they're all useless. The Reddit comment is saying literally this one. Research backed lesson, research supported, yeah, research supported. Still fail miserably, like fail in a very bad way. My friend failed miserably, getting as as little as 10% in the final exam, you can say. Online education is for those who are self-sufficient learners and will put in the time and effort. And at the end of the day, that's a good one as well. A lot of native speakers use it when they're giving a overall answer. Yeah, ultimately. At the end of the day, is common English idiom is a common English idiom. Ultimately, when all is said and done, and after considering all facts, for example, let's say I talked about different methods to improve your reading, to improve your speaking, to improve your writing, and I'm saying, well, at the end of the day, if you're not going to practice and if you're not going to learn and if you're not going to revise what you've learned, you're not going to improve. Yeah? At the end of the day. Let's take this one as well. is for those who are self-sufficient learners. Self-sufficient means like they know how to control themselves. And at the end of the day, and most importantly, if you want to do higher education, you need to be a self-sufficient learner. Yeah, if you want to study at university. This is one of the reasons I think homework is necessary during school years. It teaches children how to learn on their own and how to manage their time in order to do so. Yep, that's the purpose of homework. It teaches children how to learn on their own and how to manage their time in order to do their homework. All right, clear, clear. It also depends on the class. Students here doing mostly remote and online courses. I'm taking a film theory course and a Bible as literature course. My film class meets twice a month and has 2 textbooks. Additional readings, posted PowerPoint presentations require 2 papers every 2 weeks. And office hours. Office hours are the things that you have at university most probably. You're gonna meet with your tutor or mentor, and you are gonna talk about your problems or your assignments. Yeah, it's tedious. It's boring. It's a ton of reading. It's a lot of reading. But if you put in the time and effort to take the notes, it's an easy A. My Bible course has 3 open note quizzes, maybe one additional analysis paper to read, and a final prep. That's it. Sounds easy enough, but finding the literature of the precise interpretation that my professor wants to teach out of the millions published is seriously one of the most difficult things I've experienced since I've started college. It means finding what your professor wants is literally the most difficult thing. They're really so different, depends on the content, professor, and your own personal motivation to understand the material. To an extent, like to it's not fully like 50%. To an extent, it does vary course to course, but at the end of the day, even in person, the same argument exists. Every course is different based on what you are. A professor isn't there to handhold you through the course, handhold you. In Uzbek, there is a phrase, "Qolidan- qolidan ushlab olib borib qo'yishaylik." Handhold you through the course. That's exactly the phrase. We're gonna have to analyze this one, and that's gonna be it. All right, to an extent, like 50-50%, yeah. It does vary. It varies a lot, course to course. But at the end of the day, even in person, even when you're studying face to face, yeah, the same argument exists. Every course is different based on what you are. A professor isn't there to handhold you through the course. You really should be at the point where you are independent. Be at the point where you are. I was at the point where I was literally quitting, yeah. Enough to study on your own. You are a grown ass adult. You can't study on your own. Something's wrong. Yeah. The fact so many people struggle with this is the reason we need to stop hand-holding students in high school. Or we need to stop giving all the instructions in high school. If they fail, they fail. If they don't do the work, they don't do the work. They need to face the consequences. Face the consequences. Again, there's a Uzbek phrase. Bosh devor yurilish gerek. This is face the consequences. Parents have stopped that independent learning from happening by insisting children don't need to do homework, and if they fail, they should be passed anyway, and all that other. All right. Yeah, like the problem is partially with parents because they want their kids to pass, and when they can't pass, they might go to the teacher and tell he or she tell him or her to let the student pass the exam. And don't tell me I'm wrong because I work in education. I see it happen every day. I see it happen every day. All right, yeah. So let's wrap it up. And what we learned today is going to be about online education. A lot of people think that online education sucks because it's poorly structured and they don't usually practice. And online education is usually for those who are self-sufficient, self-directed, self-motivated. If they know what to study and when to study and how to study, that's it. They're gonna deal with online learning. They're gonna get along with online learning. But if they can't, if they have no one to redirect them, or if there is no one who can remove the distractions, they might struggle a lot because they don't really know what good and they might have from doing different things. So yeah, we're done. I highly encourage you to do your research just like this because you're gonna learn a lot. I myself, as you've just seen now, learned a lot. So yeah, dear ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you all in our next episode on day 3. See ya.